Wonderful. So match your interest with the needs.
Yes.
Nice. So you've done so much over the years, and I suspect there's more. Can you tell us some things that we may not know about you, the ways you've supported theater over the years that maybe no one knows about?
Well, I can't imagine anybody not knowing. Isn't that funny? Because I think I talk a lot about what I do. But as a member of a community group, one of the things that I do is I'm always open to having someone shadow me if they want to. If that's the kind of thing that people are interested in, come and watch me do what I do. Sometimes it's boring. Watching people do things can be awfully boring. I really don't know. I know, for example, that one of the things that I do if I'm a director or a stage manager or in any responsible position, I tend to also take on the responsibility of treats for the cast and crew. In my other theater group, La Troupe des Anciens, I am responsible for catering the cast party all the time. Nobody else gets that, no, not catering the cast party, catering the behind-the-scenes food. Every time we do a show, all the things that people eat while they're waiting to go on stage, never in costume, of course, I'm usually the one who takes care of getting that. So that helps support the theater, because I think it was Napoleon Bonaparte who said that an army marches on its stomach, so does a stage crew, so does a cast.
Wonderful, and volunteers will be happy to know that they won't go hungry when
They
they're
don't
working
go
hard.
hungry. If they're working a show with me, they will not go hungry.
So, and we did find out some more things about you because you mentioned the other theater group that you're working with as well. So you're busy.
Yes, I am busy. I am a long-standing member of La Troupe des Anciens, which is a French language theater company downtown. I started working in French in 1972. It was my first play. And the fellow who played the lead role in that play, and I, multiple years after 1972, are still the best of friends, which is another thing about theater that I don't think I mentioned right off the top. Great way to meet people with share your interests. Lots of people find the great love of their life in the theater. The great love of my life actually may be the theater, but you meet wonderful friends. In La Troupe des Anciens, I've acted in French. I'm the resident stage manager for all the productions now. And again, props is one of the things that I manage to scrounge from wherever I find them. So I tend to do the same thing for both groups, but just in two different languages.
That's pretty talented. Not everyone can say that. So
I guess not.
So tell me, what's your approach to directing?
First, I have to like the play a lot, because I know that if I'm directing a play, I'm going to be living with that play for months before the first rehearsal, all through the rehearsal period, and right up until the show closes. So the first thing is, it's a play that interests me, excites me, or that I want to share with an audience. And perhaps the biggest example of that is when we did the first play, which was the first appearance of the famous Detective Murdoch before an audience. Maureen Jennings wrote this play before the TV series was even dreamed of. And I found out that she had written a play, and I thought, well, she lives in Toronto. There must be some way I can find a copy of her play. That shouldn't be too hard. Ironically, it wasn't too hard. Maureen is a member of a group called Sisters in Crime, which is for professional writers of detective fiction and fans of detective fiction. One of my best friends from high school is a member of that group as well. So she asked Maureen if it would be all right if her friend, Julie, me, phoned her and spoke to her about her play. So imagine, my phone rings, I answer, McLaughlin residence. Oh, hello, Julie, this is Maureen Jennings. I dropped the phone. I was talking to a person who I knew, who was famous, which was great. So that was kind of exciting. I got my hands on the script. I read the script. I said, yes, this is going to be a worthwhile thing to do. I spent 5 years putting this play in front of the play reading committee, of which I'm a member for Scarborough. Mm-hmm. And after 5 years, I think to shut me up if for no other reason. The play appeared on the summer reading program that we do, and it was decided to produce the play, so yay. So I directed No Traveler Returns, Maureen Jennings' first play. And it was a really, really satisfactory experience. Exciting, though, because the person who was stage managing the play decided that he wouldn't be able to do that because he had other things happening, and nobody was found to stage manage the play. And so I said, as I have said a few times after that, okay, I could probably do both jobs. I'm organized. I'm organized enough. I can do it. So I stage managed and directed No Traveler Returns. So that was very exciting.
Wow, 2 roles in one.
2 roles in one.
Yeah.
I had a wonderful assistant stage manager, Graham Duncan, who hasn't done that kind of work with the Guild in a while, but who continues to be active around the theater. And we had worked together a lot. The first play he worked on was directed by the late, great Bill Granger, who invited this young man to come in, and he said, "You sit with Madam, she'll tell you what to do." I was Madam. So Graham has been letting me tell him what to do ever since.
Well, what sounds so wonderful in this is every time you share an example, there's another thing that you've done for the Theatre Guild. And for, whether it's being on the play reading committee, making sure people aren't starving at a show, hauling props, being innovative.
I've been on the board for a lot of years too.
So, and that shows your dedication. So I want to ask one last thing on a really fun note. Can you think of one of those wonderful theater memories where something just was incredibly silly or fun, or just, one of those moments you were grateful to be a part of? Behind the scenes, during a live performance.
Naturally, I'm going to come up with 2.
Okay.
One was in my capacity as a performer. This was with the Pickering Players. We were entered in a 1-act play competition in the Oakville Theatre. And the play was Canadian Gothic, and I was playing the role of Natalie, who was dead for most of the play, and yet remains on stage as a ghostly presence. And this was an adjudicated festival, and for some wonderful reason, the adjudicator thought that a person who spent most of the play standing behind another person's chair should win an award. So I was named Best Actress in a supporting role in the Oakville Festival in 1986. And it's a silver cup, genuine silver. It tarnishes, it gets polished. And I enjoyed that very, very much. Years later, as a teacher, I had entered my school in the Sears Drama Festival, and we did the play Canadian Gothic. And I was overwhelmed with the fact that we were in Hart House for the finals. There was Jan Bessie in her office. I hadn't seen her since I was a student. She came running out when she saw me and my ragtag fugitive fleet of students following behind me. She ran over to them. "Miss, do you know everybody?" said one of the kids. I said, "No, just the important people." And we won 6 awards in that adjudicated festival, which I thought was not bad for a group of kids who, prior to going to high school, had probably never even heard the word play as anything other than what you do with a ball and bat. So those were exciting memories.
Wonderful, and that just goes to show getting involved in community theater will leave you with so many lovely memories.
Absolutely.
And great experience to boot,
Absolutely.
and friends. So thank you. There's so much more we could talk about, and I hope we'll do it again.
Oh, so do I, because you had a whole lot of things that I could talk about.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Guilty pleasures, the theater.
Would you like to tell us your guilty
Oh,
pleasure?
absolutely. Belgian chocolate and Scotch whiskey.
Hear that, everybody?
I can always be bribed by one or the other of those.
All right, noted.
Thank you very much. This was fun.
Thank you so much. Oh, I've enjoyed this.
Oh,
and,
good.
And I hope you did
Well,
too.
theater's supposed to be fun.
Absolutely.
If it's not fun, don't stay.
That's the payback.
Go
is
take
the
up
fun.
hockey or something else you need to fight with a stick to win.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay.
And thank you for joining us.